Welcome to autumn. The celebrations of seasonal change are very important because they help us to stop and take notice of what is happening in this beautiful creation all around us. While we rejoice in this harvest season of fullness and thanksgiving, our brothers and sisters in the southern hemisphere welcome the season of spring. The celebrations of seasonal change tell us to stop and be grateful for the gift each season brings. They tell us to stop and wonder at the great mystery of the cycle of creation. At the autumn equinox, we celebrate the bounteous produce that comes in.
All life has a purpose. I've come to understand creation in a way that it's meaningful, but it's also sad because you see so much destruction, and that people care more about the economy than the ecology. Ecology means home. So if we don't come home, as well as look at our needs in business, then it's not worth it.
At this point in our development as a species, our planet is one of the poorest of the poor that we should be ministering to. It's getting close to the time when we may, as a species, destroy ourselves. We won't destroy the planet Earth, but we could eliminate that part of the Earth which is its consciousness, the human species.
I find it very, very frightening that the people that we should be listening to are being silenced by our government. And
the major point for the Sisters of Providence with their commitment to ecology is the fact that they expanded the justice and peace integrity to include integrity of creation, and that they are out there supporting the causes that protect our water and our air and work on climate change and work on energy conservation, fracking, all of these issues.
Our mandate is consciousness raising through education, witnessing, being resources, and personal and communal conversion. Yeah, I think a lot of people still don't understand why we would have a garden here and why it's being used for seeds. It's a matter of people understanding where their food comes from, that the seeds are essential for food. And so I try to volunteer over there once a week.
So an important part of the ministry of the Heirloom Seed Sanctuary is education. So that we teach seed saving so that people can grow these varieties in their gardens and still save seed from them, so they don't have to become...
As we have become more educated, I guess, and learn more not only about the scientific background to the climate change and the ecological disaster that is looming there, but also with creation as being a very great gift of God, and that God's entering into creation as well as entering into the human. And so all of that made us realize that we need to really work to care for creation also.
So I welcome you to this workshop, which is Through Love, All Was Created. When you hear the word all, what does that make you think of? And the word that came to me this morning was a bridge. What does a bridge do? Joining. Joins two things, okay. It joins two things. So I'm going to allude to that a little later on, that bridge building of how creation and the incarnational story of God coming into humanity is all a part of how God has connected with us, that bridge building, okay? In light of the Earth Charter, do you know the Earth Charter at all? Well, that was produced in 1997. And that Earth Charter has been like a philosophy, a scripture that I've used a lot when I've done workshops. And I'll show you what it looks like. You can Google it and get it online as well, okay? But I usually start a workshop after a little bit of getting to know people a bit. When you think of something to do with creation, what is it that inspires you to come to a creation workshop? Why would you come to a creation?
When we talk about an option for the poor,
Just off the top.
we also today talk about that option for the ecology. And a lot of religious congregations, not just our own, have responded. Because our earth is crying for help. And so that's a need. Speaking to the people who are silent about what's happening in our earth and saying, we need to talk about this. Start the dialogue.
It has to be an everybody movement. It can't just be the rich and the middle class. Everybody needs to be able to help save this planet and work for justice.
How are we living today? What is our footprint? If you have an ecological footprint that's larger than it should be, well, you're depriving future generations of what they need. So look at your transportation and simplicity of a lifestyle. It's the growth, I think, in an understanding that one begins to become inculcated with. And so everything is sacred. So when I do eco-spirituality, it's because everything is sacred.